Space Center, where you can see the shuttle on its launch pad this morning.
Yeah, that's right. All eyes are on Cape Canaveral, Florida, where the clock is ticking down to the launch of the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Liftoff set for 4:50 this afternoon, and this will be Discovery's last mission. Now, our John Wilson, obviously the biggest NASA enthusiast that I know, probably just about everybody knows.
Well, and now he is on the ground at the Kennedy Space Center this morning, getting us ready for that final mission. Good morning to you, buddy.
Hello, hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wilson's World is truly, yes, out of this world this morning. We're here at the Kennedy Space Center. Jillian's here with us with the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex. We're in the Astronaut Hall of Fame right here. Absolutely amazing stuff. We got so many cool artifacts and everything behind us, actual like space suits and everything, and very, very cool. We're going to take you all around all morning long. But what is this going on here behind us?
This is the Hall of Fame. This is where you can come and learn about the personal side of the astronauts. See space-flown capsules, Mercury spacesuits, their personal memorabilia of the astronauts, like the personal side of what it was like to be an astronaut.
This is great, you know, for the adults, but also great for the kids, kind of going around. And I mean, you're right, you really do see that personal side. But I mean, those capsules, oh my gosh, they're so small.
They are. And it really gives you a sense of what the astronauts went through and did in the beginning of the space program. You can come here, the kids can learn, but they can also have fun. Get on some simulators, see what it's like, really get the experience. I
love that because it's almost like we're tricking them into learning stuff. See the spacesuit right there. Now over here, this is the actual Astronaut Hall of Fame, right? Tell me about that.
This is. Each year we induct new astronauts into the Hall of Fame. We have 77 astronauts in the Hall of Fame right now. This May we'll have another induction ceremony, we'll have 79. It's really exciting. Come down and meet the astronauts. We have the ceremony every May. We have more than 20 that we usually attend. It's just a lot of fun and not get to see and meet these astronauts.
This is amazing stuff right here. We're going to take you all around here. Great place to come see. Now, rumor has it as well, okay, we're going to be seeing some really cool space shuttle stuff, so stay tuned for that. And can you confirm or deny this? Jillian here, Kennedy Space Center, Visitors Complex, official person. This morning, we're actually going to be able to talk to an astronaut.
You are a real astronaut that's been in space.
A real, honest-to-goodness astronaut. That's got a pretty cool first as well that we're going to share with you. Very, very cool stuff. Again, we're down here at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. That's Wilson's World. Back to you guys in the studio to infinity and beyond.
Oh, yes, Buzz Lightyear.
There you go. Approaching 6:22 on a Thursday morning. Derek James and I'm Anna Koyman. All eyes are on Cape Canaveral this morning as Space Shuttle Discovery is set to launch its last mission this afternoon.
Our John Wilson is watching the history being made this morning, and he has more from the Kennedy Space Center. Good morning to you again, Wilson.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yes, Wilson's World is out of this world this morning. I am so excited to be sharing this with everybody. We're at the Kennedy Space Center, all right? Bruno is here, one of the educators here at the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex. And here behind us, this is a huge simulator.
Yeah, it's not just a model. We actually take groups inside and they get to run a mock shuttle mission.
Oh my gosh, and we've been kind of able to experience this before. Groups can come down, kids, adults alike. They get to, I mean, they can actually like sit there in mission control, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either mission control or you're in our orbiter crew as an astronaut.
Wow, and when they're doing mission control, I mean, what do they get to do? They got to run through all kinds of like different programs and everything, right?
Well, yeah, random alarms can come up, but they also get real-time data depending on their position that they have to feed into the mission.
Oh my gosh, so they get to do some of that. So that's mission control. But then a group of them, you get to go up in the cockpit here as well. How cool is that?
It is amazingly cool. There's so many buttons and switches in there they get to play with. Everything they touch registers on our computer. And we also have a flight deck and a mid deck.
Wow. So they can come down here and like families can come and actually like run their own mission where the kids can be in the cockpit, mom and dad as they always are at mission control, kind of experience that and really work as a team.
Exactly. It's great team building. We also have professional groups come in, not just little kids, but we have
like business groups and conventions and all that. Yeah, you see, this is a lot cooler than like the truss drop kind of thing where you got to fall back there. This is much cooler than that. All right, so you get to do that. I got to ask you, those man, we've been here and you're like working with the kids and all that. What's your favorite part about having the kids come in here and experience all of this?
Definitely to see an interest in space.
Yeah.
A lot of kids today just don't seem to look up anymore. So to actually see them get excited about, future missions to Mars and to the moon again it really pays off.
Yeah, I imagine when you see that light bulb goes off, it's got to be pretty cool.
It is
one other thing too, you get to do this the spinning around. What is that called?
We call that the multi-axis trainer. We basically, or the spinny thing, as a lot of kids like to call it, we simulate a capsule going out of control.
Oh, wow. No, and speaking of going out of control, yeah, I imagine lunch would be going out of control on that one. I got to do it. It was really, really crazy. Well, no, thanks so much for talking to us, and we're gonna go. I want to take my mission now. You guys can come down here, Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and go on your own mission to infinity and beyond, or where no man has gone before. Very cool stuff here, Kennedy Space Center. That's Wilson's World. We're in Florida. Back to you guys in the studio.
I have a feeling John's adding some stuff to his NASA scrapbook that he started when he was about that big.
Yeah, how does he always get to do all this stuff, Tara? It's not fair. He went on the cruise. Now he's getting to watch the Space Shuttle Discovery on its last launch. Come on, spread the love.
Don't worry. I'm now trying to get together a trip to Hawaii. We'll be taking Fox News Rising to Hawaii. No one knows about it yet, but we're going to make it happen. And John Wilson, you're going to be right here at the weather desk. Let's talk about your...
Coming up on 7:41 here at Fox News Rising, there you see that very nice live look from the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, where you can see that the shuttle is there on the launch pad this morning.
That's right. All eyes are on Cape Canaveral, Florida, where the clock is ticking down to the launch of the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Liftoff set for 10 minutes before 5 this afternoon. This will be Discovery's last mission.
And with the historical moment going on, our John Wilson out and about at the Kennedy Space Center. Good morning, Wilson.
See if we can get him.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wilson's World, yes, here, Kennedy Space Center. An amazing day to be here, just kind of going around showing everybody here. Jillian is back here with us with the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex. And here we are. I mean, there's the shuttle over there. Now, which pad is that?
That is launch pad 39A.
39A, that's where the shuttle's going to be launching from. So many historic moments and everything. And this is just one of the many things people can come and experience on the tour.
That's right. Come out and do the Kennedy Space Center tour. You'll come out here and see the launch pads from the observation gantry.
Yeah.
Go out and see a few other things. Launch pads down at Cape Canaveral.
Well, that's true. And looking to the south right here, these are some history right here that you can see off in the distance with the Saturn and the Gemini rockets.
That's true. In the early days down at Cape Canaveral is where the early Mercury Gemini programs launched from. Now that we launched the unmanned rockets, Delta, the Atlas, Falcon 9 SpaceX launches.
Yeah. And we were just talking. You may have been able to be seeing some of that on the news here the last couple of weeks, and in the future here, that's where some of the private companies are doing their thing. Now, as we're kind of panning around, what's this big building over here?
That is the Vehicle Assembly Building, or the VAB. That's where the shuttle is stacked together and rolls out from the VAB along the crawlerway. Takes their journey moving at 1 mile an hour and ends up at the launch pad.
Wow, and you can see the crawler way right there. I've always read about that and always wanted to see it. That is pretty cool. And yeah, the shuttle actually rolls out there, as you were saying, at 1 mile an hour. That is pretty amazing. See another one of the launch pads there in the distance. Just an amazing time. But here's the thing now. We've been hearing about the shuttle program and with it kind of wrapping up. You guys aren't going anywhere. Kennedy Space Center, it's wide open and a great experience to come bring the family to.
It is. We're not going anywhere. We're here to stay, and we're here to tell the story. Come learn the history, the future of the program, and come bring your family down. Come visit us. It's a full day experience.
I mean, I got an astronaut here every day. There's an astronaut here you can come and interact with and dine with an astronaut. But yeah, there it is. The pad right there, the shuttle. That's where it's going to be taken off from. And yeah, just absolutely amazing. If people want to find out more about what's going on here over the next couple of months, next couple of years, what should they do?
They can visit us on our website, KennedySpaceCenter.com. Learn all about what you could do in a day's time to come visit us.
Yeah,
experience what it's like.
We're going to have all that linked up for you at foxcharlotte.com. But and people can come. You can get the bus tour. And I mean, we're like a mile from the pad right here, right?
A mile from the pad. Come see it from here. If you want to get a little bit more in depth, you can take a guided tour. Go directly out to the launch pads.
Wow.
Get up close. Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Absolutely amazing. Just a great time right here. Now, still to come, we are going to be talking to an astronaut. That is right. Astronaut John Fabian is going to be joining us. I am so excited. But there you go. There's the pad right there. That's where the shuttle's going to be launching from. It's Wilson's World, out of this world. I am so geeked out right now, guys. I'm having so much fun. Very, very cool stuff. Hey, that's Wilson's World. Back to you guys in the studio.
And weather looking awesome there. And of course, we always talk about weather when it comes to NASA launches.
Good morning, everybody. Wilson's World. We are out of this world this morning, as promised, from the Kennedy Space Center. Yes, an astronaut. I am completely geeked out right now. Astronaut John Fabian, sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's my pleasure.
We are here in the Rocket Garden, one of the many experiences that people can come down and experience here, and I'm just in awe standing amongst these. There's so many great stories here.
Yes, this is a history of the space program built around the rockets that have been used to put people into space.
It's got to be pretty amazing for you to kind of sit here. We were just talking about one of the rockets here. Walter Cronkite was talking about it. They don't seem as big now.
No, that's right. I remember Walter Cronkite looking off at this one that launched Alan Shepard into a suborbital flight, saying, Alan Shepard seated on top of that giant rocket. And, of course, at the time, it was a giant rocket, but by today's standard, it's pretty small, but it did what it was supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And the Atlas, I think you're telling me right there, John Glenn's rocket.
Yes, that John Glenn flew the Atlas into space on the first orbital mission for the United States. So, this is a place of enormous history, the Kennedy Space Center and the Rocket Garden.
It really is. And to actually be able to, for people to be able to come and see the rockets up close and personal, it really brings that history to life, and that's kind of what the whole experience here is all about.
Yes, it is. And if the rockets aren't your thing, we also have the capsules. So we have the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo capsules here. The history of human space flight before the Space Shuttle.
And you went up on the shuttle. We're going to talk about the shuttle a little bit later on. But for you, being an astronaut going up there, what is it like seeing those little capsules for you? I wonder.
Well, I wouldn't fit in those capsules. I wasn't qualified to be an astronaut until the shuttle came along because I'm too tall for them. But I've tried to squeeze into them unsuccessfully.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm with you there on that one, my friend. So people coming down here, what's your favorite part? Because there's so many different things that people actually get to come and lunch with an astronaut and really get interactive with you all.
Well, the Dine with an Astronaut program is my favorite because it's unstructured and you can kind of do with it as you want and go the direction that the people that are curious about the history of the program want to talk to you about.
The thing with everybody's been telling me is there's that number one question that I've always heard that people ask. Do people really ask you guys, how do you go to the bathroom in space?
I think about half of the audiences will ask that question, and the more children are in the audience, the higher the odds that question's going to be asked.
That's got to be a pretty good one. But then, and they were telling me, but just that feeling in space. We come down here, we're doing the shuttle launch experience, and they say that's the closest thing that you're going to get to it.
Actually, it's very good. For the first few seconds off the launch pad, it's as good a simulation as you'll find anywhere what the real thing is like.
Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing right here. Kennedy Space Center, again, I read about this. I had no idea it was this cool. So many different experiences. Again, here the Rocket Garden, so many people getting pictures and experience, and we're going to have it all linked up for you at foxcharlotte.com. But for you and with everything, what's it like for you kind of seeing this next generation of astronaut maybe coming up and experiencing and meeting you firsthand?
Well, I don't know. I enjoy talking to the young people that try to inspire them to study their math and science because we need to do a much better job in the U.S. in educating our young people in math and science. And so if the space program and a future in the space program is part of the motivation, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. This is very, very cool. So kids, do your homework back home, all right? And you never know, you could be here talking with some goofy TV guy about being an astronaut in a couple years. Thanks so much. We're going to talk about the space shuttle program, of course, the shuttle program and everything like that. We're going to get to that. But you were, and we're going to expand on this here, but you were the first to put a satellite out and to bring it back, right?
Yes, that's right. It was on the seventh flight of the Space Shuttle program, we used a robotic arm from Canada in order to put a German satellite out into space, let it free fly for a day, and then go back and retrieve it and bring it home.
We're going to expand on that here in just a little bit. The Rocket Garden, here's your moment of zen this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just take it all in. Just look at this. Absolutely amazing. Wilson's World, we are out of this world at the Kennedy Space Center. Back to you guys in the studio.
8-9.
The Space Shuttle Discovery, historic moment this afternoon, taking its last launch into space. And our John Wilson is at Cape Canaveral this morning.
Very happy guy, and he's been joined by astronauts this morning, and also just talking about how cool it is for kids to learn there. Hey, Wilson.
Wilson's World this morning, yes, out of this world. Kind of fitting that we're here again with astronaut John Fabian, wrapping up here from the Kennedy Space Center with the Space Shuttle behind us right here. For people that don't know, astronaut John Fabian, you were up on the 7th mission, I believe you're telling us.
Yes, I was on the 7th and the 18th missions, once on Challenger and then later on Discovery.
And for you, I was reading, you were the first to kind of put, we were talking about that earlier, expand on that, to put a satellite out there and to bring it back with that arm. I remember as a kid, reading about that arm and just how much of an advancement that was. That had to be pretty amazing to be the first to do that.
Yes, well, the arm itself is about 50 feet long. It's an electromechanical device that won't support its own weight down here, but it does marvelous things up there, and we use it all the time on shuttle and station. I had the privilege of taking a German satellite out of the bay, unlatching it, releasing it into space, let it flying out for a day, collecting data, and then go back and reach out and grab it at 17,500 miles an hour, which, let's face it, that's a thrill, and it was a great deal of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. And just, we always say, we see the programs and everything about how many hours and hours and hours you astronauts spend practicing that. To be the first and to kind of be part of that program, I mean, that to finally get to that moment to do it, what was that like?
Well, I was part of the development team on the remote manipulator system, so I spent a lot of time in Toronto, Canada, where it was built. Working in the simulator there, evaluating the control system, and then finally, once we had the flight hardware, testing it out on an air-bearing floor there in 2 dimensions. Yeah. Couldn't test it in 3 dimensions until we got it into space. But there, I got to be there for that too.
Wow.
So it was fun. It really was fun.
I can imagine. And here, it's kind of fitting that we're here today with the shuttle program kind of winding down here. What are your thoughts on that and the future of the space program?
Well, the shuttle has done what it was designed to do. It's been a wonderful machine. It's very versatile, but it's also very complex and very expensive to operate. We've come to the end of its life, and so it's now time for us to move on to other things. The big question right now is what other things, and how are we going to do that, and will American industry be able to respond to a commercial launch capability in the U.S., and if so, when, and how will we integrate that into NASA? All of these questions are out there and have to be responded to. But the future is what the future is going to be, you know.
Yeah, well, and with that being said, the space program has added, people always say, well, is it worth it? I don't want to get into all that, but just being a fan of the space program as I am, it's added so much to our everyday life. I mean, just, environmental purposes, cell phones, through everything.
Yes, well, my own thought is that what the space program has brought to the world, which is most important, is in medical technology, and all of the scanning machines that we use for diagnosis of serious diseases have come directly out of the space program. And my wife is a cancer survivor, so, I take this very personally. Yes, a lot of different things have come out of the space program and electronics and communications and so forth. But I'll take human health as really an important thing for all of us, and so I put the emphasis on that.
That's a good one to mention. Wrapping up here, just some final thoughts to share with everybody back in Charlotte here at Kennedy Space Center. Great place to come and hang out and you get to actually interact with one of your fellow astronauts.
Well, there's an astronaut here every day of the year, and our purpose for being here is to interact with the public, to meet them, to have photographs taken, to give them autographs, tell them our personal histories, and lie to them about what our experiences were in space. And it really is. It's a great thrill to be a part of the program, and I've enjoyed 11 years of it down here.
Yeah. Well, it has been great to meet you, and thank you for the service to our country and everything, and for talking with us this morning. And just, it's just a personal thrill to be here talking to you, and just thank you so much.
You're most welcome in Charlotte. Come down and see us. This is a great place.
There you go. Man, very, very cool. Again, Kennedy Space Center, we've got all the information up at foxcharlotte.com. To infinity and beyond, boldly going where no man has gone before. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
I've got to get down there.
Yeah,
that sounds so fun.
And we'll certainly be watching the launch this afternoon.
Just 10 minutes before 5 o'clock scheduled time.
That's going to about do it for us here on Fox News Rising this Thursday morning. Coming up tomorrow, make sure you join us from 5 to 9 a.m. The Charlotte group working on the Democratic National Convention talks with us about their host plans before they meet with the president in D.C.